Hello, welcome back to Drive On Photography. Today we're going to jump back in on our leopard image here out of Tanzania. We're going to see if we can get rid of that distracting sky in the background. Probably going to jump into Photoshop today. We'll use some AI generative fill as well as try to do sky replacement, but we're going to see where we end up with. So let's jump over into Lightroom and Photoshop and see what we come up with. Okay folks, here we are in Lightroom. You'll notice from the last episode here when we did the first part of this edit, I did pull the crop in just a little bit more, so got rid of the sky on the right hand side. That's less to worry about. This leaves us the sky in the middle. I also brightened the animal just a little bit on the exposure slider, left everything else the way it was. And now we're going to, instead of working here in Lightroom, we're going to jump over to Photoshop. And I'm not sure which way we'll go. We'll see if we can find this sky with sky replacement. If not, we'll try generative fill and see if we can fill this in and see what happens there, and just try to get a better overall image. So let's jump. Oh, if you don't know how to do it, straight from Lightroom. And I do want to try to keep these things short but also informative. So if there's something you want to know how to do in Lightroom or Photoshop, drop me a comment and ask. I can do an episode on that, or we'll just show you while we're doing an edit how to answer your question. But in this case, you can see that on my thumb strip here at the bottom. If you right click on the image, you can come up and say edit in. This is one way to get there, and we can say go into you can say edit in Photoshop 2024, and then I've already got that file opened, I believe. So here we are in Photoshop. So the first thing I think we'll do here is let's just see if Photoshop will find the sky. If you come over to your edit, let's see, I got to show all because I've got some other things added there. Sky replacement, and let's just see if it finds it. And it did not. I thought it might have a hard time. So next thing we can do here is we can try to use generative fill. And the way you do that, we get the lasso tool. I'm just going to hit L on the keyboard, and I'm going to come around just the outside of this tree, get a little bit of the tree texture in there, and we'll see if it'll fill that hole in somewhat using the texture of that tree. I'm going to come right up along the edge of the cat, being real careful here to stay just inside the cat's ear. Might have got outside just a little bit right there. And you come down to your generative fill button, just click inside the box. Don't put anything in there, just click in it and hit generate. It's going to give you three options. Hopefully this will go pretty quick. If it don't, we'll advance the, look at that, it filled it completely in. Now I didn't expect it to do that, but it did a pretty good job. And it's got three options there. Here's the first, here's the second, and here's the third. You look at that. I'm watching the ear in this case. I'm watching the ear. Let's come in. Just oops. Let me get back to my hand there. Let's drag that down. Let's look at the ear and the side of the animal's head. I almost think number one seems like it cut some of it off. Number two seemed like it added. And number three seemed like it was a little less dramatic. All right, let's see what we do here. If you hit Command 0, it'll put you back full perspective in your screen. Now, you can take your generative fill box down at the bottom, drag it to the bottom, click on the three dots, and you can hit pin to this position. It'll stay right there. So you know, I think I'm just going to leave it with that. Just going to leave it right there, and I don't see anything else to do. So it's a shorter episode than what I thought, but like I said, I think I'll make a link on Patreon, let you guys have the full resolution image, and you can play with it yourself and see what your edits come up with, and then share those and let me know what you come up with. But I'm really shocked that it did that, because the first time I tried this this edit, it did not do that. Not only did it not find the sky, but it did not find the texture to fill that in that way. So you can see that's what we had before. And that third one did a pretty good job of not cutting anything out of the ear at all. And it filled in around the edges as well. Pretty dang good. I'm just really impressed with the new AI tools. Only thing to do there is flatten it. And if you hit Command D, it should flatten it. Now, if you want to add a border here, and this is something you see at least in the framing area, if you just get the plain print like this, you're really not giving the framers any room to work with. But what you can do is add a border to this. If you come up to image, so this will be a bonus tip. We'll do canvas size. Let's see what this image is really at right now. So it's a 10 by 15 right now. So if we wanted to add 2 inches on each side, we just increase each side by 4. So we'll make this 14. And this one was 15, so we make that 20. And then we want it to go from the center. And then there we go. We're back at a let me trim that down a little, a 2-inch border. Now, if you want to put a signature stamp or something in there, you can do that. I did have one, and you'll see what I came up with earlier today. I left a little bit of that in there. But if you have a signature stamp or your name stamp or your logo, you can throw that in there. And then you've got a print that's ready to go. So with that, we'll call this one good, and we'll come up with something new to do with Lightroom or Photoshop in the next episode. So thanks for watching.